Hi folks, how are y'all doing today? I'm going to move this over here. Hi folks, how are y'all doing today? My name is David Gugino, and today's book review, I have a very good book, and it's actually a devotional book today. I should have organized my stuff before I sat down. And my timer on my phone, I guess I could do that before I do this, but start the timer. And in today's book review, I have 1 Year Devotional by Tim Tebow. So, the thing with Tim Tebow is I watched a documentary about him on Netflix about the Florida Gators and Urban Meyer, and Tim Tebow really inspired me. Like, his mindset and the way he approached things and the way he worked really inspired me. And then I told my aunt about that, and my aunt got me this book. So, this book is a devotional book. It is something you should read almost every morning, and it lasts a whole year. As in the chapters, the month and the date and where you should be at in the book is all listed above. And the way Tebow thinks and the way he worked, really, because he knew how to work, really inspired me. Not only that, he is a Christian, he is a strong believer, and he's a very strong believer. And when it comes to being a strong believer, a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to continue to be a believer, but they also don't realize, it's difficult, I'll give you that. But when I say it's difficult, it's doing the stuff that he did and doing the stuff that an average person does is just so different. He was in college in the state of Florida. He could have been with any woman he wanted to. He could have partied as much as he could, but instead, according to people that worked with him or played with him, he just eat, slept, and lived football. And not only that, but players started to become inspired by him because they were all doing this partying and doing all these drugs and just not focusing much on football like he did. But he changed the ways of other players' mindsets just because of who he was. So that also inspired me. There was no temptation, it was just hard work ethic and talent. And just being a strong believer. It was that. Eat, sleep, Bible, and play football. And even some of the people that played with him, they're just like, even some of the people that played with him, they're just like, yep, he either had his playbook with him or his Bible with him, and that's just who he was. So let's dive into the book here. Now, a lot of stuff spoke to me in this book, and I say that about a lot of my books, but this is some of the stuff I review is the main stuff that I just took home and have lived with to this day. And this book I finished about a year ago, actually, so it's been a year since I've even opened up this book. So let's see what it has to say. So now this is being willing to suffer. We've all talked about suffering before a couple of times in life, but this is willing to suffer. So this is the January 24th. This is the 24th day that you'll be reading this book. Being willing to suffer. After you have suffered for a little while, the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself perfect, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. 1 Peter 5:10. So now what it says in this book, and this part, is, so when you say you're passionate about something, what you're really saying is that you care so deeply about it that you're willing to suffer for it. This brings a whole new meaning to the word, doesn't it? A mission mindset embraces suffering. I'm not saying to be masochistic, but it's a mentality with which you're willing to make sacrifices, push through pain, and fight for what truly matters, because the mission is worth it. The S in mindset, he was going through acronyms of the word mindset, is simple. It stands for suffer. And then he ends it with a question. What do you care so much about that you're willing to suffer for it? And then in the next part, we're at E, and it's pursue excellence. You're on January 25th, the day after. Whatever your life's work is, do it well. If it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures, like Shakespeare wrote poetry, like Beethoven composed music, sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a street sweeper who swept his job well. Now the reason why that spoke to me, I think, street sweeper, what does that have to do with anything? Well, the example was he used Michelangelo, Shakespeare, and Beethoven. What they did might sound extremely boring to some people and not fun, but they did it well. And sometimes, what people believe, is they believe that's all they have, but at least they do it well. It's like being a janitor at a school. Someone who cleans really well and takes care of the school and takes care of the kids, you might think, well, gee, he's just a janitor. Yeah, but he does his janitor job really well. It's better than him being a janitor and not doing his job well. So it's like with my job, for example, being a trainee. I could not learn, I could sit at my desk and just clean the shop and not do anything, but the Lord has spoken to me through some of the stuff I write. He goes, this is where you're at in life, David. So wherever you're at in life, at least just do it well. At least just be good at it. So that spoke to me, and honestly, if you really think about it, a lot of people do not think about that nowadays. They don't think about like, oh, it's just a job, I want to go to work and I want to go home. I'm like, yeah, that's great, but if your job can lead to opportunities and lead to meeting bigger fish, I mean, you might think that might never happen, but if you at least do your job well, it can get you somewhere. Your mindset like that will get you somewhere. Well, this is where I'm at in life, I'm at least going to do it well. I mean, it can get you somewhere if you really start thinking that way. And that's why I love Tebow so much, because I love the way he thinks. I love the way he observes and views things in life. So the other thing I want to point out in this book is we're on February 13th now. The Art of Staying Grounded is what the name of this chapter is. So, some of us live like we have control over our lives, our communities, and the world. With closed fists, we grip tight our resources, our time, our talents, and our skills. And our money. Yeah, all we can do is focus on today, right now, this moment. When we live this way, my phone keeps disappearing. Live this way, our grip loosens, our fingers uncurl, our hearts begin to open. We begin to live with open minds and open spirits. And when we do, we become willing to step out in faith in order to allow God to take us where He wants us to go and do the things He wants us to do. Then he ends it with this question. Do you live as though what you have belongs to you or God? What needs to change? So what needs to change? So now that is something that you are probably wondering about. What needs to change? So when he says you live those with God belongs to you, you live as though what you have belongs to you or God, what needs to change? I'll say it's what belongs to God. Because someone once said, I've heard this from a couple of people, you're not the center of your own universe, God is. And for those of you who aren't religious, that pretty much means that your Lord and Savior, the person who puts you on this earth, everything should go to Him. Everything should be about Him. And if you give more of your life to Him, He will do more things for you in your life. But not only that, He doesn't mention the word selfish, but when it comes to being self-absorbed with what you do in life and thinking that everything you do is about you, it's going to make you pretty miserable. But not only that, it's not going to get you very far in life because you have to care about other people. And you might think caring about people is hard. And honestly, I'm a pretty nice guy, but caring about people is really, really difficult. So like serving tables, for example, if someone complained about you not filling up their drink all the way, you might think, yeah, but I refilled it 3 or 4 times. And you might think, wow, it would be really hard to care if you filled up someone's drink 4 times and they still complain that you didn't fill it up enough. So think about that for a second. But then you got to think, well, maybe I'll try to refill it 5 times. And let's say the 5th time, thank you for refilling my drink. You did a good job. Wow. And then you also, during that situation, if that worked out, you'd probably be telling yourself, you're telling me to please this guy to fill up his drink 5 times? Yeah, but you cared enough to continue to do it, and you made that guy happy. And that guy gets to walk away being like, wow, I yelled at him the first time, but he cared enough to change his ways. So caring about people is important. And it's not just caring about people in that kind of way, it's just in general, wherever you're at in life, pay attention to your surroundings. Like, simply saying hi and smiling to somebody could make their day. My job dealing with truck drivers is I'm fueling their truck, just simply asking them how they're doing will make their day. And that's what you do in life. You help others. Your kindness helps others, but you just caring is just so important. Now the next thing is February 14th, a day after February 13th, is do what's necessary. So think about this. It could mean studying more than playing, focusing on planning, strengthening a certain habit, caring for a neglected part of your life, or tending to administrative-related responsibilities. The grind may not be exciting at times, but there's power in the details. How can you change your mindset from being overwhelmed by a big goal to focusing on it one step at a time? So think about that for a second. Focusing on it one step at a time. So it's like with doing these videos, like focusing on this. Like I'm filming this at 8:35 in the morning, and not only that, but I could easily be watching TV, I could be at my phone, or I could go back to bed. But the one step at a time, as in I'm filming this, and then after I film this, I'm going to edit for probably 20 or 30 minutes, and then prepare for my day job, and then go to my day job, and then come home, and I might edit some more. So like having steps into how you do things is just what you do. But when it comes to do what's necessary, you do what you gotta do, but you also do what's necessary at times. Like, I heard someone say, when people say whatever it takes, that's just dumb. It's like, just follow the fundamental, work hard, but follow the fundamentals of doing what you need to do. Carve it into your time, but don't be doing all-nighters like some people say. Don't start your day at 3 in the morning. Don't like grind for hours and hours and hours. It's just do a little bit at a time. Do what matters. And to be honest, that really spoke to me when he says do what's necessary. And I actually learned from this book. I don't have it marked down, but I've heard from multiple people and from this book. True wisdom is knowing what matters. And it's also like when it comes to a goal. Goal, just do what's necessary. To accomplish that goal, do what's necessary. Don't do anything crazy or dumb. Just do what's necessary. So the last and final point of this is the present rescue mission, and this is March 21st. In the most basic definition, rescue means to free or deliver from confinement, danger, or difficulty. However, in tracing the word back to its Semitic origins, the translation goes a step further. Adding to fortify, to arm someone for war, it is an extension of the definition that's crucial to fully understand not only our own salvation, but also calling to rescue others in Jesus' name. So, now you might think, David, what did you just read? Well, when he says it's an extension of the definition that is crucially to fully understand not only our own salvation, but also our calling to rescue others in Jesus' name. So as in we're rescuing and helping others through God. God put us on this earth to help each other out, to care for other people, and to rescue others, and to like believing in Him and telling them about His salvation and how it's the only way to get to heaven. So the present rescue mission, I believe, is very important. And then he ends it with so many social issues and focus in our society today. Is there one that has caught your attention? Well, a main thing that's caught my attention is just justice and the criminal world. And the reason I say that is because you have people getting a slap on the wrist and being set free, and then you have people serving 10 years for a horrible crime when they should be serving a lifetime. But rescuing others in that situation is saving other people from those situations. Not only that, but if you spend a lifetime in jail, there is a way to live a life in jail. There is a way to find purpose in jail. Not only what you did was wrong, but there is a way to be taken care of while in prison or in jail. At least that's how I would view it. But there's that, and then this is the best one. This is March 22nd, also a day after. Just everything was good one after the other. But we are not promised tomorrow. We're not guaranteed next week. We do whatever we have this moment, the time we are given when we wake up each day. God gives us a gift. He wants us to pursue today using the time we are gifted to grow, to love others well, to help someone, to pursue a dream. He's put on our hearts today is our day to live without fear of the unknown, to live without being chained by failures or what-ifs. No matter what today holds, we can choose to say yes to the opportunities of this moment. So that is the other thing. Choose now. Whatever opportunities you have today, choose them, because we're not promised tomorrow, and we're not promised the next couple hours from now. But to live without being chained by failures or what-ifs. So as in back in the day, you failed, you had a couple what-ifs, you continue to choose now to fix that, and continue to pursue opportunities or even failed opportunities, and just do them over and over till you succeed. So overall, this is a very, very good book. It's a very good devotional book. You just need to learn. It just takes 2-3 pages to learn something that you can take with the rest of your life. And the thing you take with the rest of your life, you can practice every day. It's very simple. But this is 1 Year Devotional, Mission Possible by Tim Tebow. I want to thank you all for watching, and you all have a wonderful day.